North Gauteng High Court has requested the National Director of Public Prosecutions to consider initiating criminal charges over Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir's controversial departure from South Africa after attending the AU summit after a High Court order expressly prohibited it.
Detailing his reasons for the court's earlier decisions, Judge Dunstan Mlambo said that if the government ignored its constitutional obligations, the edifice of democracy could crumble.
The Sudanese president's visit to our shores was fleeting, the fallout though far-reaching. Indicted by the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity, South Africa was obliged to arrest al-Bashir as a signatory to the ICC's Rome Statute. The High Court had ruled that al-Bashir must remain in the country as it finalized an urgent application by the South African Litigation Centre to compel the government to hand him over to the ICC. But al-Bashir had left the country by then. Mlambo said government clearly violated the court order to ensure al-Bashir did not depart.
The court issued an order that the Minister in the Office of the Presidency and the Minister of State Security should file an affidavit within 7 days explaining the circumstances under which President Bashir managed to fly out of this country despite the explicit order prohibiting this.
He said the AU summit agreement did not confer immunity on al-Bashir as head of state.
Immunities Act does not domesticate the General Convention on the Privileges and Immunities of the OAU. It is therefore not binding in South Africa, and the structures, staff and personnel of the AU consequently do not automatically enjoy privileges and immunity in South Africa.
The judge lambasted the government's failure to comply with international law and abide by the Constitution.
A court is the guardian of justice, the cornerstone of a democratic system based on the rule of law. If the state, an organ of state or state official, does not abide by court orders, the democratic edifice will crumble stone by stone until it collapses and chaos ensures.
The South African Litigation Centre says it's been vindicated.
We are very happy with the court's judgment and the reasons that they've handed down, and I think it's for the NDPP to consider what the court has said and for us also to consider the options going forward.
State lawyers refused to comment shortly after the proceedings. They say they want to consult further before releasing a statement. Government is expected to brief the media on the matter tomorrow. It's also expected to file an affidavit explaining how President al-Bashir was allowed to depart. Offenses Timo, SABC News, Pretoria.